Hello, this is a video about Read and Write for Google Chrome, which is a fantastic extension that can be used by all of our students at Grand Yellowhead Public Schools, as well as our staff, to help with reading online text or with helping students to do written work by using speech to text if that is something that is necessary. So the first thing that we need to be aware of is that this extension, in order to get the premium version, is something that has been purchased by our school division because we feel it's a really valuable tool. But that means that the only way you can access it properly is if you are signed into Google Chrome with your Grand Yellowhead account information. So if you're on a Chromebook, then you're good to go. You're already signed into Chrome. If not, you just want to make sure that your profile is set to your Grand Yellowhead credentials, and if not, there is a video on how to do that. So once I'm signed into Grand Yellowhead account, then I can see all of my extensions, which are up here by the search bar. I have quite a few extensions here, but the one that we're going to be focusing in on today is Read and Write for Google Chrome, and that is the purple puzzle piece, as we call it. And it is a product by a company called TextHelp, and they have lots of excellent instructional videos as well. If you just Google TextHelp, you'll find lots of information that way as well. All right, so the Read and Write program works really, really well if you are in a Google Doc. So I'm going to start there, but then I'll show you how you can also use this tool just by reading text from websites as well. So I have a Google Doc ready to go. So this might be something, a Google Doc could have been shared to students from their teacher with some information, and perhaps the student needs a little bit of help reading the instructions, for example. So the next thing is, I'm going to click my puzzle piece to make it go away for a second. So the next thing is, in order to activate Read and Write for Google Chrome, I have to click on that little purple puzzle piece. And when I do that, you'll notice that this lovely taskbar, or toolbar, I should say, appears, and that has all of the tools that I'm going to need in order to help me read the text, to help me add to the text, and do all kinds of interesting things. So if it's the very first time you've ever used it before, there will be a little pop-up message that appears that says TextHelp would like to access your program, and you have to hit allow. It didn't pop up for me because I use this program a lot, but you have to always hit allow when those messages pop up, as long as it's from the source that you want it to be from, in this case TextHelp, or Read Write for Google, because if you don't hit allow, then it won't let you use the program. Okay, so I have my program ready to go, and we're going to just start by showing how we can have this program read a bit of information for us. So the first thing that's important is you want to make sure that you put your mouse and the cursor in front of the text that you want to have read. And once you do that, you just simply come up to the toolbar and you hit play. And play is just that universal triangular symbol. So let's try it out.
Welcome to another school year. This document contains information that can be shared.
And I just hit pause there just because we don't need to read the whole thing right now. But what you'll notice is when I hit pause, you can see the highlighting that's happening as the program is reading my document. And you'll notice that the sentence that it is currently on is going to be highlighted in one color, yellow, and the actual word is highlighted in another color. And this has been proven to be really good for students to track the words and follow along, which will help improve their literacy skills. So that's one really important feature to this. The other thing is you'll notice the voice. And the speed was a fairly slow speed, but that was intentional. I've set it to be slow because if a student is using this for comprehension, we don't want the speed of the voice to be very, very fast. Otherwise, there will be less comprehension. So in order to change that information, if you look at my toolbar here, most of the things are sort of grayed out right now because I hit pause, just to let you know that. But if I come over here all the way to these three little dots are kind of in the Google world anyway, are kind of a universal symbol for more features or more options. So I'm going to click on those three little dots and I'm going to hit options. And here's where you can change a few of the features within the program. So you can change the voice if you prefer a male voice or a female voice, but notice, of course, there's lots of different options. So if you're going for an English voice, you want to go down to US, US or UK as well will work, and then you have a few different options to choose from. So maybe I'll try US Tom this time. And then you'll notice the speed. The default speed, it will be set to 50 if you've never used the program before. However, 50 is quite fast. So we in the education world typically recommend lowering that speed to somewhere in the 20s for ultimate comprehension. And then there's a few other options that you can go ahead and explore in your own time, all of these different options here, but really, if you set the voice and the speed to something that you like, you should be good to go. And then we're going to hit OK down at the bottom. And now I have dealt with those two key pieces, and I can continue using this program. Okay, so the other thing is, I'm going to just hit play one more time.
Welcome to another school year.
And then I hit pause. If I'm done with the reading, in order for me to reset my toolbar up at the top, I just have to hit stop, and then everything will come back. But again, feel free to just click around on some of these things because you're not going to hurt anything. Just go ahead and explore a little bit if you're wondering how things work. So that's how you get the program to read for you. If we want the program to write for us, I'm going to come down here to a bit of an empty space on my page. So if I am having difficulty writing for whatever reason, I can get my ideas out on paper by speaking them. So in order to do this, I need to find the button that is speech to text. And again, there are a lot of different options up here. And if you don't know where it is, all you need to do is hover your mouse over top of something and it will tell you what that feature is for. So right here with the little headset, that is our talk and type. And that's what I'm going to want to use to record my voice on paper, and then I can submit that. So this is one way that we can have our students be showing us what they know, maybe especially for the younger grades where they're not very proficient at typing quite yet. They can still get their ideas across to their teacher by using talk and type and then sharing a document with their teacher, and then their teacher can assess their understanding, which is wonderful. So when I click talk and type, the first thing that happens is it's going to ask you to allow your microphone. So if you're using a Chromebook or a laptop, they have built-in microphones. It's wonderful. If you're using a desktop computer, you will need to have either a webcam plugged in that has a built-in microphone or a microphone plugged in, but generally people would just have a webcam. Majority of people right now are using Chromebooks, so this becomes quite easy. But what everyone must do is when this little dialog pops up over here, you have to hit allow for the microphone. If you do not hit allow, this will not work. And then you actually have to reset everything, and it's a pain. So always hit allow. I'm going to hit allow, and then I'm going to start talking. And what you'll notice is it's recording my voice and it's writing down what I'm saying. The other thing to notice is the microphone over here on the left-hand side of my page is red, which means it is recording. If I click on the microphone, it will stop my recording. And it's as simple as that. One thing to note though, when you're training students to use this, it's very important to talk about speaking clearly, speaking loudly, and not mumbling, because the program has a difficult time if a student isn't speaking clearly enough into their device. So one thing to keep in mind. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about reading and writing within a Google Doc, and again, a Google Doc is going to give you the best functionality of the program because the program was designed to work with Google Docs. But of course, sometimes we're not going to be in a Google Doc. We're going to be using the internet, the web, and having students read information there as well. And the program works there as well. So let me show you how that's done. I'm going to go to a website. And one of my favorite websites to show is National Geographic Kids. And I'm going to go to the animals section. And so say I'm doing a research project and I am researching an animal and I just need to find the animal that I want to research today. Let's go with the aardvark. Perfect. So I've got my website, I've got some information about the aardvark, and now I want to read it, but I'm going to use Read and Write Google to help me do that. So again, I'm on a website, but as you'll notice, my purple puzzle piece is still right here for me because it's part of my extensions and it's part of my profile. So I'm going to click it. Then our toolbar will reappear. And what you'll notice this time though is because it's a website, there's lots of text everywhere. There's advertisements over here, there's little diagrams down here, and then there's the actual text that I want read. So websites are more confusing for the program, so we kind of have to direct the program as to where to go. So I can't simply just hit play, I actually have to direct the program as to where to go. So the easiest way to do that is to use this little feature right here called hover speech. When I click there, and then I click where I want to start reading, it will...
The aardvark gets its name from a South African word meaning earth pig. Although the aardvark looks like a pig, especially with its body and snout.
And it's as easy as that. Just use that little hover speech option and away you go. You can pause it, you can stop it, and that's how you get Read Write Google to read web pages for you. You can also use this on PDF documents and other types of documents as well. If you find that the program is not reading for you by using hover speech or by hitting play, there's one other thing you can try, which is, just let me hit stop. I have to unclick this, then everything comes back. And again, these are things you'll figure out as you're going along. There's one other way, if you have a kind of a page that is more difficult to read, you can use this button right here, which is called the screenshot reader. And if I click on that, I need to then click and drag a box around my text. It will process that text as a picture, and it's processing because you can see the colors changing on the bottom of that box. Once that's done, which should be any minute now, this one does take a little bit longer, but once it's done...
The aardvark gets its name from a South African word meaning earth pig, although the aardvark looks like a pig.
So then you just have to hit the X in the corner and it will stop reading for you. So that's a backup tool. I wouldn't use the screenshot reader as my first option if the hover speech is working, but that is a good backup to know. Okay, so that is your very quick overview of Read and Write for Google Chrome. As you can see, there's lots of other tools within Read and Write for Google Chrome, and I will make a video on that in the coming days, but in order for accessibility for students at this point, the reading and the writing are the most important features, and then we can have some fun talking about some of the research tools that the program has as well, which are really quite neat. But in an effort to not make my videos too long, I'm going to stop it there, and hopefully you can get going with Read and Write for Google Chrome. And again, you can always use the text help website, as they have lots of excellent material as well. Have a wonderful day.